Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a wonderful evening and starting off the morning, excuse me, appropriately. How is everyone doing? So, we'll go through a bunch of stuff today. Rally continues. We'll take a look at potentially how much longer it could go on for. We've already had the initial jobless claims, the Philly manufacturing index. Wow, I'm having trouble talking this morning. Interesting for me, Fed Philly prices paid coming in much higher than previous. So that's your inflation still coming in. At 9 a.m. Central, we do have the Consumer Board Leading Index month over month. So that'll be interesting. And then we have Powell speaking this afternoon. Please keep that in mind. FOMC, pretty much, what are we at now? 97.6. So that 50 basis point hike fully baked in. We're going to tip with this rally. This is based off the cash, 44.98. So 4,500 tips it to positive gamma, which will start having a dampening effect. On earnings, we have American Airlines also came out with strong second quarter guidance, which is not surprising, and that's up. Also, United, after yesterday's close, that's also up. They issued a good earnings and strong guidance. So that's what I was looking at this morning. If there's anything else anybody wants me to look at, let me know. But before we get started looking at the markets, if you are new here, please do consider subscribing, hitting that bell, and hitting the like button. Longer term viewers, please come back, leave a comment, and like the videos. So let's see if the camera there. It's a little fuzzy. I don't know why that happens sometimes. Let me just adjust it slightly. Hold on. There we go. Right there. Okay. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Jake. Jake and Jacob back to back. Good morning, Ken. Looks like a silver reload day. Could definitely be a silver reload day. Again, I can't give you specific trading advice, but I do recommend with things like gold, silver, uranium traded around a core position. Tesla, I think you meant now going crazy. That Tesla, well, Tesla doing Tesla. There you go. Good morning, Options 22. Good morning, Amit. Good morning, Davey. Haven't checked the news. Did Tesla provide guidance on the balance of the year? I mean, Elon said in the call that it would pretty much, even with the Shanghai shutdown, it wasn't going to impact Q2 at all, which we shall see, but I just take everything that's said with a grain of salt. Good morning, Genomic Stock. Good morning, Davey. We will peek in on Tesla. So, again, S&P rallying. We're getting to potential cycles top, but no rollover yet. So I'm watching for a potential topping pattern within the next 2 to 3 days. We're back above the 200, 4,525 is the next harmonic. Above that, 45.16. And then my major level is 45.27, which is the 62.5% harmonic, and prior support becoming resistance. So that is a very key area. What I'm paying attention to, we got above this little trend line you can see here on the 4-hour. Let me bump this up also just so you get an idea on any pullbacks. First minor area going into the open, 44.90. If we did drop below that, we have the 12.5% harmonic with the rising 1-hour rotation zone. So 44.80 will be very key. Don't really, for the bull case, don't want to see it drop below there because that's breaking through this prior major support area now. So that would go back into consolidation that it's broken out of. 4-hour, you can see cycles holding at the top. I'm really worried about the daily. We're getting up there again where we should start watching for topping patterns. Now, if we get a key close today above 45.27, we could definitely extend the rally a little longer and push up towards the 45.95 to 4600 area. We have the NASDAQ here, double bottom. Again, stalling out there, then finally pushing through and hitting the first target. So my key area I'm watching on this is really on a pullback, 14.1 13 area. Can go, I mean, NASDAQ can even drop to 14,100. Anywhere in here would be key support for me. I'm now going to be watching and focusing on 14,219, 14,218, and then 14,252 to the upside. What would really damage that upside move is if we get a move back below 14,070. So that would be key on the NASDAQ. Let's just take a look. Also, cycles getting up into the topping area. RSI right in the middle. And also do keep in mind, it can complete this double pattern and run smack dab into the into the top of the rotation zone again. 14,280 would be key. So that's what I'll be watching. This would have a long way to go before it kicked into a major buy mode. Again, I'm watching for any potential rollovers in the NASDAQ first. Dow, moving on. Again, the double is still potentially in play, but it would be shocking to me unless something tanked the markets that it will play out. I'm just putting that on as a potential because we always got to prepare for both sides. My next level's in the Dow. It's above yesterday's key resistance. This is just temporary, but I'm going to be watching on any pullback with the open. My minor level now is coming in right around 35,200. Major would be right around about 34,950. Don't want to see it dropping below there for the bull case. Next harmonic level is 35,441 minor. Then major is 35,601 to 35,670, especially with the end of this clear path it's trading into now. So please do keep that in mind. The end of the clear path is technically there. So above that, the next major level is until 36,060. Russell, again, pushing up 2062. 2073, then 2082, key support coming back at 2047. DAX went through the next target, which was the 50, now pushing up, which was this 14,636 area. Above that, if it does continue, 14,825. Key support coming back in at about 14,470. Crude pausing, trying to turn up a bit here. Mixed cycles, not really any fantastic patterns yet on crude. We'll just be watching for a potential break right now above about 104, and that's a clear path. But the next topping point on that clear path would be the breakdown zone about 105.67. And if you want to use your harmonics with that, 105.43 to 105.67 would be a focus on a break higher. Let's take a look at gold. Gold still trying to hold the rotation zone barely on a pullback. I'm still focused on about 1940. If it does get there, what would shift into short-term bullish mode where I'd start to watch for this return to this most recent high area if we can get a strong break about 1967. But gold back into consolidation. So again, that would just be a short-term pop higher. Silver looking like the reload play, as was pointed out. Going to give the shout out to that. Where, yeah, Jake the Snake, thank you for pointing that out. Silver reload play, pulling back into this key area. Again, this is why I love to trade it around the core position, because pullbacks and then you get these pops, and you just don't want to get greedy because you get these back and forth moves until it really breaks out. We'll just peek and see. There's no major bottoming pattern just yet. Watch for a potential retest of this area, and then there could be a short-term bottoming pattern. Let's see, 10-year notes. I'm really starting to watch for a longer-term bottom getting put in around this area. Still keeping an eye on that. Weekly cycles at the bottom, RSI at the bottom. We got some waning momentum coming in. So even with the return now down here, I'm going to be watching if it does return for a potential double. If it can't get that far right now, then I'll watch for a return back above the 37.5% harmonic. Then I'm targeting the 50%, 119.30, then the 62.5, 120.09. There's been decent trading in the notes. Dollar index, again, continuing his pullback into the rotation zone on the daily. If we do break below that with the lows, again, dollar could be putting in a longer term topping pattern. That's really what I'm watching for. The first warning sign would be we pull back to about 99 weekly rotation zone. Then I'd watch for the next rotation back up, and then we judge to see, depending on the strength of the next rotation back up, whether it's the topping play and then the rollover play, or whether it goes to new highs. But that could be dollar top. Euro could be putting in, getting closer to a short-term bottom. VIX, as I've talked about, VIX, we got the close below 62.5. I'm just watching for a return to this most recent low area, 1850 to about 19. That's statistically what say it should go on, and so that would just reinforce the continued rally. Let's see what we have here. Let's see. Yeah, thanks, Amit. They reaffirmed again Tesla. They reaffirmed their guidance. Tesla, again, 1070 was the next major horizontal channel, and then I'd watch on a continued push higher today. You still have a gap fill up here. The full gap fill would be to 1091.26. So that's your next targets higher. Above there, I'm watching for, and this is not necessarily for today, but major topping area coming in about 1137 to about 1141. So that's what's going on. Let's see. Thanks. They're building a car with no steering wheel could help margins. So they've been leaving out parts before and chips. So we shall see. Yes, again, options giving you a shout out. Thanks, Amit, for that information. There's more. Overall, Q1 was solid, but a little skeptical on CapEx. Still showing strong free cash flow when they have all these costs and 2 new factories ramping up. I looked a lot at the accounting last night, and there was some very odd accounting. But this is Tesla. Come on. I mean, that's all I can say. Looks like risk on day. Sterling with the risk on, risk off. Looks like risk on day. Yeah, risk assets. Well, you got that double in the NASDAQ. Bitcoin up. Ethereum up. We'll peek in on those real quick. Could be that risk on move. Bitcoin. Bitcoin next levels higher, 43,384, and then 44,600 are the next key levels for that. Ethereum next key levels are 32.25, then 32.25 area, then 33.18. Sorry, boy, it's been a rough morning so far. Let's see. Look like gap ups in SPY-Q and IWM. There should be gaps up with this overnight price action. Can I take a look at OGN-USD? USD. I do not trade this. Your key support coming on about 0.604 to about 0.5735 to maintain the bullish case. You start dropping below this level down, though. Start dropping down below this area. Then I'd watch for a retest of the lows. Your harmonics to the upside would be, if it breaks above this most recent high, you're looking at 0.7567, then 0.79. But there's not, let me just peek down. There's not a lot of great pattern. It's chopping. I mean, it's interesting to see Bitcoin and Ethereum stronger. I just really watch on a pullback for that rotation back up. Cycles topping and trying to turn over, so it's not at a great. I wouldn't be strong buy here. I'd be watching for that pullback into the rotation zone as long as this level holds on a closing basis. Again, around 0.57. Let's see there. Let's just peek in at the spiders. Again, we had the little pullback, and pre-market, just a reminder, we had this double trigger yesterday, little pullback, and now 448.75, 450.77, and 452.78 are your targets. 448.68 in the pre-market gap. So essentially, you've already hit stop reduction target. So that's what your key things are for the SPY today. On any pullback, it would just be watching for that gap fill. Again, that would be the gap fill. And the first area I'd really focus on any potential pullback would be about 447. Peeking in on the Qs. Again, we had this. Did that... Still going roughly with those. The Qs pre-market up. So if we get above 347.42, I'm still going to be using these targets about 352, 354. But I'd really be focusing on this first target. Still, the Qs have a lot of heavy lifting to do and the rotation zone right up against here. So the Qs are my last play, literally, at this point. Diamonds back above the 200 up pre-market. And this, for the minor levels I'd be watching for would be 355.30 and 356.89. On any pullback, you really don't want to see it drop below about 350, 350.30. You still have a gap here, so then the next target down would be 349.12. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Could you do it quickly on Tesla playing options? I've already got 1070 is, again, we're back above there. Next target up, again, is the gap fill, which I would not be surprised if it didn't do today. 1091, and then my major topping area is right around 1136, 1141. Could you look at COF triggered daily double bottom? Yep. Next targets. 148.31, 151. I'd really be focused on this 151 area. Pullback. On any pullback, again, you got your key support. So watching for a pullback play, it looks up pre-market, but any pullback play would be to about between this 141 and 138.20. Those are the key levels I do watch for. Let's just see how that fits with the harmonics. So the 12.5%, yeah, this would be the pullback, key pullback area with the play if you're watching for a pullback play. Other than that, it's just if you're already in it with that triggered, then you're just going to keep raising your stop higher. So, do you trade HD as a daily double bottom? Oh, that's now a little extra rotation in there. That's a tough one. This is a sloppy pattern. $74. That just ekes in there. You can. Technically, it does work. Technically, sorry, I had to do a little looking there, which triggered yesterday. So your next targets 321.90, 325.76, 329.12 are your targets. Yes, that can be traded as a double bottom. Cycles right in the middle turning up. RSI not overbought. Definitely would not ignore. I just want to see on the aggressive targets. Yeah, see, that takes it pretty much to 50. I'm going to use conservative targets, but I'd be watching. You definitely want to raise 321.90 area and really watch this 50 in the way. But overall, it's in a big consolidation pattern. IWN also has triggered a double bottom, and then we will wrap it up for today. Yes, it has. Yep, IWM targets. That was a daily, a triple on the 4 hour. It's a little sloppy with this, but we're still going with the same targets. 203.79 looks the gap above there. Then your next targets above there, 205 and 206.30 area. So those are your targets in the IWM. Key support coming back at about 201.25. So there we have it. There we have what is going on. Hope everyone has a wonderful trading day. It looks like we will be in bullish mode unless Powell, remember Powell is speaking. So unless he says something that really shocks the markets, he's speaking at 10 Central and 12 Central time. So 11 and 1 Eastern time. So keep an eye on that also. We should be getting into that positive gamma territory. Not real strong, but there could be a slight dampening effect on a rally as it continues higher. That's all I want to leave you with. I will be back this afternoon for the market wrap-up. Thank you for everyone for watching. Bye.